What's going on, y'all? It's Zeus with Corpus Christi Originals. In this podcast episode, we had the pleasure of having Eric Franco. Eric is the owner of Texas Arena Fitness, part owner of Only Wolves clothing brand, and Only Wolves NFT. If you're interested in this podcast, stay tuned.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. What's going on, Eric? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, man? Happy to be here.
All right. Yeah. So how'd you feel when we first invited you onto the show?
Like we talked about earlier, I saw Corpus Christi Originals and I was immediately intrigued. The style, like the vibe, the energy of it kind of pulled me in. So whenever I got invited on, I was like, dude, hell yeah. I would love to share some stuff with some other Corpus natives, of course. I'm excited. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So which schools did you go to here in Corpus?
Let me see. Elementary, that's funny. Elementary, I went to Fannin Elementary, and Fannin was awesome. I have like little fond memories of being elementary.
Yeah.
That's funny that you asked that. I was actually talking about this the other day. I was like, what schools do we all go to? And but I went to Fannin, and then I went to South Park Middle School. And then I went to Moody High School. And then I graduated from Moody.
Yeah, bro. Dude, you Moody folks, man. You guys put on the grind for sure. Yeah. Why do you laugh about it?
No. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Ray for 3 years. Dropped out, graduated from Miller.
Okay, you went to Ray.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends from Ray. I have a lot of friends from Ray. Actually, my best friends, like these guys were in my wedding. You know what I mean? I met them when I was 5 years old at Fannin Elementary, and they are my friends this whole time. So shout out to the bros. Love y'all. I hate y'all, and I want to choke y'all, but hug y'all at the same time.
Yeah, that's real interesting to me, bro, because I saw some of your pictures. Y'all had some wrestling party or something. That was live, bro. That was live. I was like, what the hell, man? This is sweet.
Real quick. Hold on. Go. Finish.
No, I just think it's cool to have that kind of fellowship, brothership with somebody for that long period of time. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I stress that so much to people because, some people are less fortunate to have these strong bonds with people. And, some people have like relationships. Like, my wife, I consider, she's like one of my best friends and I'm in love with her. So, but my best friends, man, I have this bond with them where they're my brothers for life. And it was funny about that. It's funny you brought up that wrestling thing. Quick story. I really don't watch wrestling a lot now. So if you notice, I was Macho Man Madness, bro. Like that's way back in the day when it was, in my opinion, when I enjoyed wrestling a lot more. When I was a kid growing up. So Macho Man's always been someone where I just felt like, if someone popped up as Macho Man, I think that would be super gnarly. So
that's cool.
It was funny. My birthday came up and me and my wife, we do everything together. She's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I'm like, man, I don't want anything. Let's just go away somewhere, take a trip and hang out. And she's like, no, I'll do something. And I love surprises. I really do. Like, if you tell me I got something for you, I'm like, okay, don't tell me. Wait, I love the suspense. I don't know why. It's weird, but I love it. And my wife's like, well, I gotta tell you. I'm like, no, please don't tell me. She's like, no, I'm throwing you a wrestling party. And I was just got quiet in the car. And I'm like, oh my God, you messed up. This is going to be badass. So I immediately, like a child, call my friends up like, oh my God, my wife's throwing me a wrestling party. You guys got to dress up. They're like, dude, of course. So right away, I was like, oh, Macho Man. No one's Macho Man. Let me be Macho Man. So it was my wife's idea, which was super impressed, and she gets major points for it. So I was like, oh my God, you're the best ever. Yes. But I mean, I'm very grateful for it. And then I immediately told her, I started thinking about the party. I'm like, what do I don't want to happen? First off, I didn't want someone to go through my table. I didn't want someone to powerbomb someone at my table. I'm like, don't do that. And then another thing, and some of my friends, they're heavy into wrestling still. So I was like, please do not please no one to start like front yard, backyard wrestling and go off the top rope off like my roof or something. And I'm like, oh my God. So sure enough, some of my homies brought like you know those silver tin cans like for barbecues, like so they could hit each other. And I'm like, dude. And then also I was like, I told my wife, I was like, please do not buy me a wrestling cake. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, don't buy me a cake, like a wrestling ring cake.
Yeah.
Like 30-year-old man. I don't want no like blowing out candles, like a little happy birthday with a little ring. I'm like, I don't want to do that. She was like, I was gonna buy you a cake. I was like, don't buy me a cake. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like it's drinks and just buy me some pizza or something to eat. But yeah, man, it was really cool. And going back to, you know, that bond, my bros have been saying for years, like, we need to throw a wrestling theme party. And no one ever did it. So finally I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, man. I just had it here at my house.
Yeah. It's your son was in there. He was who's it, Cactus Jack? No. Was it Cactus Jack?
Yes, he was so it was so funny. Every time I get these ideas, I tell my son, I'm like, hey man, I need you to wear this wig or wear this. And he's so excited. He's like, yeah, like, I'm down. And then when it comes to putting the wig on him, I immediately start laughing. And I'm like, and I'm wearing a wig too, so we're both like, yeah, man, like, and he's like, shut up, take it off, everyone get out of my room. I'm like, dude, chill out. That's so funny. And my wife puts a wig on him, and we just start following around with the phone, and we're recording him. He's just like running around my house with a wig on, and he was so mad until he was like, everyone out of my room, get out, take this wig off me. And then as soon as like all the homies and everyone started coming over, he noticed like everyone was dressed up. He was like, you just see this kid like walk out. He just like sits there with this big old wig. And he just like, hey, what's up? Like eating pizza. It's hilarious, dude. And like, I'm like, what happened? He was like, nothing. I don't care anymore. I don't care. He has like a wig. He's like, I don't care about nothing. And I'm like, funny, and I'm sitting there on my wig, and I'm sitting there too. I'm like, yeah, totally, man.
Yeah.
He was Cactus Jack. It was awesome.
That's cool. And your wife knows that you're a big goofball.
Yeah, bad. I think I've won her over that way. Otherwise, I don't know why she gave me a chance.
Crazy,
but
bro.
She's beautiful. So.
And you've known her for years. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I've known my wife for years. I know my wife a couple of years before we actually even dated. So we built a bond, built a friendship, and then eventually fell in love. And then I got super lucky.
That's what's up, bro.
Now we're married, so she's not going nowhere. Locked her down.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's cool, man. Yeah. So before you started, so which was the first business? Was it the fitness?
Yes, Texas Arena Strength and Fitness was my first one.
And before that, what were you doing before that?
Man, I had a crazy job. I used to work at the American Bank Center. I was like a parking attendant. I hated it. That was the first time I ever tried coffee in my life. I don't drink coffee. That was the first time I drank coffee, and I was a parking attendant. So, you know, like rain, heat, whatever, I'm out there, right? And they put me in the furthest parking space, and it was freezing. It was probably like 13 degrees outside. And I remember calling, you know, like the manager had like a walkie-talkie, and I was like, bro, y'all got any like hot like chocolate? And he was like, no, man, we have coffee. And I was like, I've never had coffee in my life. So I was like, just bring it. Is it hot? He's like, yeah, if you drink it, it's going to warm you up. And I'm like, dude, please hurry up. So he brings it. And he's like in a golf cart all bundled up. And he gives me the coffee. And I literally took like 2 sips. And I'm like, man, this is pretty good. And he's driving away. And I'm like, my stomach, dude. My stomach starts rumbling so bad. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, please, Cold Brown, pick me up right now. And he's like, Eric, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I'm going to crap my pants right now. And like, mind you, I'm like a whole football field away from our office or like where we go and like hang out before we go out to work. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. Turn around, all these cars are in the way. I'm like in the little golf cart, like freezing. I'm like, please, I want to crap my pants. I'm gonna get fired. Dude, so I was like, yeah, I'm never drinking coffee again. But yeah, so it's like the last time I drank coffee. But that was the first time. I used to work at the American Bank Center as parking attendant. I used to work at the Dollar Tree. And then I got into fitness. Well, I started mixed martial arts first, and I
Mm-hmm.
was fighting in MMA, and I had all these ambitions to fight in MMA. But I also, and that's like a huge, like my MMA like time when I was doing mixed martial arts. That's where like I found out who I was and who I wanted to be. And I found out how I am with diversity and trials and tribulations. I found out through mixed martial arts. I found friendships and bonds. And I actually graduated from Del Mar, from the Fire Academy, before I was 21.
Mm.
So, and when I graduated, I knew that I wanted to be a firefighter. So I was in high school and I knew I wanted to be a firefighter. I actually was fighting while I was in high school too. I was doing MMA, I was doing boxing as well. And I always loved fitness, but I didn't want to be like put all my eggs in one basket. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go to school.
Mm.
I'm gonna be a firefighter, and firefighting is honestly the only other job I would ever do in the rest of my life. Like I absolutely love firefighting.
Mm.
And when I graduated, I was living with my dad, and I told my dad, "Hey, I graduated." He was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Yeah, all my stuff comes in. I got to do like a little ceremony."
Mm.
I'm actually a firefighter and an EMT.
Cool.
So at the time, you didn't have to be a paramedic as well to get like a job and everything. So I was an EMT and firefighter. I graduated, and he was like, "All right, well, get the hell out, go get a job."
Go work.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, well, hold up. He's like, what? And I'm like, I want to be a mixed martial artist. And he's like, Eric, good God. He's like, please, please. I was like, just give me 2 years. At the time, I was 20 years old. So
Mm.
when I graduated, and I was like, I can't work anyways. 21. He was like, yes, you can. He's like, you can be like he's like an EMT. You can get a side job. And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
know myself and I know my personality. When I'm in it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the way in it. So when I was doing MMA, and I was like, man, I really want to give this a shot. And he was like, I was like, give me 2 years, Dad. I was like, I'll do anything. I take the kids to school. I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll do anything. Like, just give me
Mm-hmm.
2 years. Like, 2 years, if I don't make nothing happen or do something or something, don't get something out of it,
Yeah.
I'll just go back and be a firefighter. Like, it's a win-win for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll be 22. So he's like, all right, man. Well, he's like, you better do something with it. So, I started training, and this is when it all kind of comes together. Where I had this buddy of mine, Chris Garley, is again one of those best friends I was talking about, one of my best friends, and he's like, man, we need somewhere to train. I said, absolutely. So we're here in Corpus training, and I told him, I was, yeah, I got 2 years, man. Otherwise, I'm gonna give this up, and I'm gonna be a firefighter. And he was like, all right. So this place called Pro Performance Training Center opened up
Mm-hmm.
years ago, man. At the time, I'll say I'm barely turning 21 now, and I had a place to train. I had strength conditioning. I had sparring. I had rolling, and I was trying to be like a black sheep of MMA here in Corpus. I didn't want to train with anyone else. I wanted to do it on my own. I was
Right.
being prideful and all that stuff, whatever.
Mm.
So we started fighting, and I win my first couple fights there, and the owner there offers me a job, to teach like kickboxing or boxing or something like that. I can't remember anymore. Or it was like do a strength conditioning class, like a circuit class. And I was like, man, I'm not certified in anything. So the guy believed in me, helped me out, raise some money, and I started getting my certifications, everything for training, stuff like that. And right there, my fight game or my desire to be like the world's greatest fighter or whatever started to diminish because I fell in love just with helping people.
Yeah.
And through fitness, like you can help anyone, man. And I just fell in love with it, just like actually helping someone, like someone driving away in their car and be like, man, today was cool. Like Eric really helped me out. And now I feel a little more confident about myself. That was like the biggest reward ever for me. So that's when I started thinking about, man, I want to open up my own place. So I think I worked at Pro Performance for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I saved up some money. I went through some hell to save that money. I got burnt over, crossed over, lied to. I went broke. I just was grinding, man. Like to save some kind of money to make something happen. And
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. So yeah, so I opened up my first spot down Holly Road, and it was like 1,300 square feet. Man, it was just concrete, couple racks, couple dumbbells, couple barbells, and plates. And
Mm-hmm.
we got into that. We started grinding, man. I had a partner at the time. He actually went off and did his own thing. But during that time, we were super blessed, man. It was. I was scared, man. Like I was super scared, but the grind, man, just never stopped. I always felt like fear is a good thing. If
Why
you're
were you
not
scared?
scared, then
Why were you scared?
uh, well, I have this thing where if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I it don't matter what it is. If I say I'm playing tic tac toe for the rest of my life, play tic tac toe, I don't care.
Right.
But so whenever I started, and again back to me, like my personality is like I'm all the way in it.
Mm.
I didn't. Well, I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be the guy that said he was going to do it, and then, you saw me a month later, and I failed. Uh,
Right.
I was just scared. I was so scared to fail. I was so scared that people wouldn't believe me. I was so scared, like that I was actually able to convince someone to give me money to help them work out, and in those 3 years that I was working at Pro Performance, I already generated or built kind of like a small little following, I want to say, of people that actually believed in me, and I did really good things with them, and they did really good things for me. So
Mhm.
when I finally announced I'm open, people started to like, all right, man, I'm going to you. I'm going to your place anyways. And thank God for them. And thank God for like this opportunity, man. I just saw it and I went for it. So I was so scared to fail. I was just
Mhm.
super scared to fail, man. I was scared to spend money. I was scared to put money in different places. I was terrified, man. It just made me work so hard. It just like slept like 4 hours a day,
Mhm.
got up, back to the grind. It was wild. It was so wild. But yeah, man, I was just scared to fail. I was scared to lose people's interest, and it just takes one person to be like, nah, he's wasting my time, and
Mhm.
then for that person to tell someone else, that person tells someone else, and before you know it, I'm out of business. So broke
Yeah.
again. But I was broke. Like when I opened up, I was broke for a
Right.
while. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the norm for small business owners for a little bit. But yeah, man, I
Mhm.
was scared. Just scared to fail.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, people. You're involved with people, and then you want to. Yeah, I understand, man. You want to please them in a way to where like they like the product. I guess you can say they like the
Yeah.
service, right? You just want to you want
Yeah.
to serve well, and
Yeah.
when you serve well, that's when uh the reward comes.
Yeah.
It's like going to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and you don't receive service. You're like, dude, what the heck? I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. I mean, not that you're arrogant, like, oh, you need to serve. No, but I mean, I need a
Yeah.
fork. I need a fork to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're
And
absolutely right.
so it's like you're putting yourself out there, man. Especially, you're just putting yourself out there because you are you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have and a lot of us have that fear too. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, some of us don't act upon it because we're so afraid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's risk.
No,
There's risk.
there's a thing, there's like a quote or a saying that I've always stuck by. It is the reason why people don't shoot for what they want or don't go big is because they're embarrassed or afraid to be seen at the bottom.
Mm,
And that alone will make you crumble. And
mm,
I remember telling people, I don't care if I live in a box. I don't care. I'll live in a cardboard box for this. I'm gonna do this, and I'm
mm,
gonna figure out a way to be successful from what I said because I said so.
mhm,
And my pride alone will allow me, man. It's a double-edged sword to live by, but my pride alone was one tool that I had in my emotional and mental being that pushed me along to like I care about sleep. I didn't care about I didn't I was scared to fail, but I didn't care about who saw me struggle because I knew that through this struggle would blossom this beauty of success. And not that I am the most successful person, but I have success from it. And it
yeah,
was from that struggle that helped mold my mind. Now I feel like my mind is become hardened. I'm a lot more fortress now in my mind. things don't scare me the same anymore.
Right. So
A little struggle can build some character.
for sure, bro. Yeah. It's the only way to get there. If you keep trying, failing, trying, failing. I mean,
Yeah.
failing is just a normal part of life. It's a teacher.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely, man. So that's awesome. So you got your gym going,
Yeah.
2015. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you had the clothing brand like the next year? Is that when you started it?
Yeah. So when I was fighting, okay, so yeah, like Only Wolves came on the next year that I made the gym, and I've been sitting on that plan since I was like in college. So a couple of years later, I had this sketch of Only Wolves like in a old notepad of mine, and my wife knows, like, I have all these notepads around my house. I have like a dozen of them with all these
Cool.
crazy notes and sketches and things that I put down. Otherwise, I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
And Only Wolves was in there. It was like one whole notebook of like hoodies and socks and hats and stuff like that I always wanted to wear,
Awesome.
and I always wanted to design. So a year after I opened up the arena, I was like, man, I really want to get into this, which is like probably not a good time because I had so much to juggle. But I'm glad I did it.
Cool.
Just giving myself freaking migraines every day, but I did it, and it ended up becoming really cool. I remember the day I made one hoodie and I took a picture in it, and I spilled my heart out on a caption, and I was like, man, Only Wolves. And my thing is like, just like a wolf, we would have to adapt to its environment to survive. And so will we. So whenever I said that, I think it connected a lot with people. And people were like, man, like, to survive, to adapt, to be an alpha, to hunt for yours, to defend for yours. And that's what Only Wolves, that kind of mentality, that lifestyle came from.
Yeah.
And I wanted pieces that you could put on your body to wear and represent that and have that same kind of family feeling of being a wolf, and no matter what. And it was cool, like lions, lions are cool, tigers, bears, and all that stuff like that. But a wolf is, I feel, it's a pack. It's a unified unit. It's not alone. Although, this wolf is cool to travel alone, to travel forever. But knowing that throughout this whole process, the whole life journey, it always has a pack to come back to. It always have a family to come back to. And I feel like wolves are like that. They're beautiful animals, man. I love it. But I've always been obsessed with them. So now Only Wolves is here, man. It's been cool. I've done business literally across the world with that. I've met people crazy, man. Weird, awesome, creative minds from that clothing line. And got to meet different people, create clothes that people, call me for this day. They're like, yo, you guys still have this in stock? I'm like, oh, man, it's like 2 years ago I dropped that. We're still going. We're going forward.
Wow, man.
But thanks for noticing, dude.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it seems like you didn't approach it like, oh, I want to start a brand and get it going. It seemed like it came from a different place, which is interesting.
Yeah. It came from more like how could I say? Like, at first I didn't think of it like, I'm gonna make this global brand, and which it's not. It's still a small business that it's still growing. These things take years to develop, which I'm not afraid to be seen at a small, because I'll grow bigger. But yeah, I never looked at it like I'm gonna grow this global brand. I wanted to make something that, if you knew me, and it was because I started alone first. If you knew who I was, you saw Only Wolves, you knew who I was, or you saw me, you know what Only Wolves is. So it was like an extension of me, and I thought it would be cool for me to wear it. Honestly, I didn't care about what anyone else thought. And then I met, man, again, one of my best bros, Isaac. I remember one time I had like a pop-up to do with my homie Josh Winston. He's the one that owns Good. It's like Good merchandise, Good apparel. He's the one that does the Good Festival for Oasis Brewery. Shout out to Josh, man. Dude's is like a little brother to me.
Nice.
I love that boy. He's the coolest dude ever. And but I was doing a festival with Josh, and Isaac, approached me. He's like, "Hey, man, like, you got someone to get down with you?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm doing this like on my own." And he was like, "Well, let me just like help out." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I could use some help." So after that, man, he just came really cool, and he had this amazing idea to like start branching out and making things better and bigger. And my mind was so stuck on the arena, my gym, and then a little bit on Only Wolves that help with another mind and body to help develop, more creations for Only Wolves. And then before I know it, man, I was calling him like, hey, man, I need another brother on this thing. He was like, absolutely, dude. So me and him clicked, and I thank God for Isaac. Isaac's one of the coolest, most stand-up 100% dudes I've ever met in my life. I call that guy, and he'll be here and drop a dime, man. And me, same for him. I love him. I love Isaac, and I thank God for him helping me so much. And then me and him just kind of took off. That's from meeting Isaac. That's when Only Wolves kind of started to pick up a little bit more pace because I had another person to help me build and create.
Right.
And now we just work like a two-headed monster, man. We just get going. So it was pretty cool.
So is it like so you added another person just recently?
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah, cool. Is it like how do y'all do it? Is it like a triple ownership, or I mean?
Yeah. We all own it, which means we're all managers of the business. We're all, we all make sure we take the time to communicate on what we want to create, the aesthetic of the look. We recently just erased a lot of old things to help rebrand. Now we're thinking bigger. Now we're thinking, okay, let's get going on a bigger looking brand. And, we have visions, ambitions to create a big brand. Like I do want to be in stores. I feel like Only Wolves does fit in, in maybe like a PacSun or maybe like a Tilly store or maybe something like that. I really do believe it does fit that vibe. It looks real skate. It looks kind of surf, but it also looks like more mature depending on some of the products that we make. So Martin was crazy because before I get to Martin, and this explains why Martin's very important. I was recently getting really, really stressed out about Only Wolves because I feel, that saying, like, if you love something, let it go. And I was getting to that point with Only Wolves to where I felt like, man, I'm just going to give up. I don't want to be, it's kind of stressing me out. And, I was going to sell it. I was going to sell it to someone. And, I talked to my brother Isaac, and Isaac's like, man, like, I see you, man. I see you stressed, and I don't like you like that. And, I kind of prayed on it, talked to my wife about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm freaking out. Maybe I'm just like overwhelmed. And, because I felt like it should be. I feel like it should be better. I feel like it should be bigger. And maybe it was me that was holding it back from what it could be. And so during this week, right? It was months ago that I was feeling like this. During this 1 week of feeling like this, I started telling myself like, man, we just need someone that could bring more of a visual to express and show what Only Wolves is through lifestyle. Because right now you have images, and that's really cool. But I want to do better. I want to show people what Only Wolves really is and how it feels to like wear it and how to live in it, drive in your car. If you're a parent, have kids. If you're a professional athlete, right? If you're a young teenager that's looking to play football or basketball or baseball or whatever, man. If you're a skater, surfer, whatever, biker, I just wanted to show that Only Wolves just fits with anything and everyone.
Right.
So then during this week of going through all that stress, my wife was at Sutra Photography, and shout out to Sutra, he's amazing. We're at Sutra Photography, and Sutra's there, and he didn't even know that I owned Only Wolves. And then Martin was there, and I think they saw a picture of my wife wearing like a woman's jogger suit that me and Isaac designed. And he was like, man, that jogger suit's pretty dope. I think Sutra's from like Europe or something. So like jogger sets are big for them. And he was like, man, I love jogger sets. Like that's my look. I love the feel. So, I pop in Sutra Photography like a couple of days later, and he's like, man, you own it? He's like, how can you even say anything? And I was like, I don't, hey, guess what, guys? I don't, like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was like, that's going to be like, oh, by the way, I own Only Wolves. Like
here's my card.
Important. Yeah. Like, I don't think I'm anyone important. So I'm like, yeah, man, I own it. And he was like, dude, you got to give me one of those jogger sets. Well, Martin comes out. He was like, bro, you own Only Wolves? Like, I've seen it. I was like, yeah, like, man, bet. Like, I appreciate y'all, showing love. They were telling me some good things about it and giving me good feedback. And I was like, man, so I came back with a gift. I gave him a set, and I gave my homie Martin a hoodie, and just wanted to see if they liked it. And I love criticism. I love hearing it back.
Right.
It just makes me elevate. So Martin ended up, we kind of vibed out a little bit on Only Wolves, and Martin does videography. He's amazing with video content and bringing like art to life. And I thought it was really cool. So we started like yelling, man. We're like, yo, we got to do this, create this. And again, like how I start getting that business, and I'm like moving our hands, and we're all talking and stuff like that. And he's like, dude, let's sit down, let's talk, let's figure something out.
Right.
So we start, vibing back and forth, and man, we did some video content we put out, and it hit. It was really, really cool. It was a really great way to show lifestyle of Only Wolves. And, I was talking to my brother Isaac, and I was like, man, I feel like we're great together, but we don't, I feel like it's a good thing to know your place. And I'm not a know-it-all. I know that I have some really cool ideas that people like and people mess with, but I'm not a videographer. I'm not a great photographer. I know I know what I bring, and I feel like if we're honest, about what our skill set can bring, and we meet this guy, and I'm like, dude, this dude's dope. Like, if we had someone like that on the team, that help us build our brand a lot better. So. And we ended up agreeing, called Martin up, and like, yo, man, like, you want to hop on and be an owner of this thing? He's like, man, let me think about it. Like, literally, like a second later, okay, yeah, man. I'm like, all right. So,
that's funny.
And so we start chopping up, and now, now that there's three of us, we're firing all pistons right now. So we kind of took a step back, and we're about to do some really cool stuff right now. We're going to drop some really cool stuff. We do have like a cool Corpus tee coming out. And then along with like shoes and like socks and hats and all this cool stuff. And, we've been reaching out to like other local brands too as well. And that's why like I hit you up. I remember I was like, man, we definitely got to do something with y'all. Like, I would love to do something with you. Like really cool Corpus Original kind of like stuff like that, / Only Wolves collab. And, cool, make a, get a venue, get a pop-up, get live music, food, invite people, let them live life and love and laugh. And I feel like we could really do something like that with you. Because it's a Corpus native. And, I know that there's a lot of Corpus brands out here that I would hope to reach out to, or hope to organically connect with. So, and I love that when it's organic, it means something. So I was kind of like wait for my opportunity, or wait for the times right. But, I would hope to, collab with these other people. But for right now, we definitely saw Corpus Originals. We were like, man, this is dope. But yeah, man. So now there's three of us, three owners of Only Wolves, and it's me, Isaac, Martin, and we got some fire coming out for Only Wolves, some cool brands and stuff like that. So I'm excited, man. Super excited.
Cool, man. That's awesome, bro. So you weren't, there's a lot of stuff in there, man. So you weren't stressed out because of the workload. You were just, it seemed like you were stressed out for the brand's sake.
Yes, yeah. Like I felt, if I'm an owner, it's my responsibility to see what's going bad and what's going good. So. Right. I had to step back and be like, is it me? Like, is it me that sucks right now? Like, good God.
Well, what happened to make, like, did something happen to like make you start to stress out about it? Like, did you see the numbers? Like, which numbers were you looking at? Like, what the heck,
it's, so I have we have like a roadmap. I feel like, if you don't write things down, and this is my opinion, if you don't write things down and get things step by step and try to do your best to stick to that plan, I feel like things are falling apart. And, I had a plan to maybe open up a store, like a local flagship store, or, maybe shoot my shot at getting into, stores in the mall. And we had those conversations. I had people reach out to me, like, to give them a portfolio, of items that I've created, how much, and things like that. And that's kind of how you get in.
Crazy.
And then they'll be like, provide me a portfolio, how much you make, how much you charge, what does it cost for wholesale, and things like that. And then they could compare and see if it's worth it putting you in your store.
Yeah.
And, I think it was around like before COVID hit. I was like, holy shit, this sucks. I was like, who's going to go buy clothes? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No one's going to do that. Like, So I guess that kind of started to stress. And man, as well as my business, man, the arena got hit. Texas arena got hit really bad from COVID.
Yeah, man.
Bad to where I was like I don't know. I was like, bro, I'm gonna.
Did you start thinking firefighter again?
yeah, bro. Like, sign with like cardboard signs says like, we'll help you like work out for money.
Firefighter.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, hire me. But yeah, man, it was crazy. But like, just like everything, man, we had to adapt. So crazy, man. COVID was wild, bro. Like just thinking about that right now was, oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
It was wild, bro. I was in football fields yelling at people, chasing people down. Like they were like, Eric, work out. I'm like, dude, me too. Like, let's go. Like yelling at each other, parking lots, sprinting. Like it was wild, bro. I was designing workouts. I had a whole like private arena Facebook page. People would come in and like I would drop workouts for them. It was at home workouts, like at the football field workouts. It was crazy. Like I was just firing, bro. Like anything to help people, man. Kids like that were trying to go to college or hitting me up. They're like, bro, we need to work out. I'm like, I know, dude. I know. It was crazy, dude.
Damn, bro.
Stressing and only will stress me out a little bit. And it was wild, man. It was crazy. But now to look back on it, man, it was it's wild, dude. I know, some people are heavily affected. What I lost family members, things like that, and it was terrible, man. It was a terrible time, but happy to be here.
Yeah, dude. So you have two, but do you have another business? You have two businesses.
I own so me and a couple founders. I started an NFT club, Only Wolves NFT Club, which is it's an extension of Only Wolves Clothing. Only Wolves Clothing line sells physical items, merchandise that can be shipped to a place or you could wear. And then we started NFTs. NFT is like a booming business. Recently hit like a really like bad like market. It's like a bear market right now, but that's like a lot more to the people that don't know what I'm talking about. I won't go too deep into it. They're like start freaking like what the hell is he talking about? But but yeah, man, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. I really got heavy into it, and so Only Wolves has a expansion business on the side, the NFT, where we sell cool character like designs, as well as merchandise with it as well. People purchase NFTs and now they own that artwork, and then they can resell for higher value if they want to, or do whatever they. It's their design now. So, say like Corpus Christi Originals has like the shark. And you created an NFT for it, that design, and you sold it as an NFT. I could purchase that from you, and I can go and put that on whatever I want because now I own it. I can do whatever I want with it. That's not the same as for, owning like an LLC or a logo or owning like the image of it. That's kind of different. Right. But like an NFT is a token, a digital thing that you can do whatever you want with. I can go off and resell it somewhere else. Maybe make tweaks to it or whatever I want to do to it. But it's mine now, so I can do whatever I want. So Only Wolf fans that support the movement were like, yo, y'all getting NFTs? We're like, yeah, man. So like all those designs that maybe we never put out, but maybe you want to do something with it, here it is. Or maybe we drop a collection, like a zombie collection, or drop like a skate collection or surf collection, a bunch of wolf skating and stuff like that. And you're like, man, I'm feeling this. I want to buy this, and I'm going to go resell it for whatever I want. So NFTs is kind of crazy. It's a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, but yeah, I own that as well. It's wild, man. People become millionaires off that. Like people make thousands, literally thousands.
Yeah. So do you have like a developer or something like that, or I mean, how do you get it on the chain? You know what I mean?
So I mean, I can do all that myself. Like, honestly, you can do it yourself. You can do it off your phone. You can create things. And if you know kind of what I'm talking about, like if I heard you say chain. Yeah. So that kind of understand like blockchains.
Yeah, blockchain.
With Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, and stuff like that. So these cryptocurrencies or these like these websites called like OpenSea, you can upload your NFTs. And it could be music, it could be like movie scenes, it could be like anything that are art. Literally, could be anything. You could draw a smiley face, take a picture of that, and upload that as an NFT and sell it for $1 million. And there's some guy that's balling like that, or some or guy that wants to buy that, they'll buy it from you. But And that's what NFT space. The NFT space is wild. I just wanted to make something that meant something. So Only Wolves means something to me, and now I have an NFT collection of it. That means something to me. It's important to me. So
Yeah.
You can ask for developers. You don't need like a coder or anything like that.
Right.
You just need that can provide you artwork. And some of these local artists, which by the way, NFTs doesn't put power in the artist per se. If you're an artist that understands NFTs and how cryptocurrency, like how crypto works and how reselling and buying, how a project works, how developing a roadmap for that project so that investors or buyers see in the distance a ongoing higher value of your project, then yes, it puts power in the artist. But some artists have no idea what the hell was going on. They just get calls, 1,000-piece NFT collection. Then they're like, okay, and they make money one time, and then that's it. I reached out to local artists and was like, dude, if you create for me, please be on my team, and we're gonna ride this thing out forever. And because you're an artist, I'm gonna give you X amount percentages as long as we keep going, as long as you stick with me. But this is a long roadmap. Like I have a long road. I'm not gonna go anywhere. It's not a quick flip. I didn't do this to make money off like in a couple months. I had plans of 6 months to change something. So we're coming up on 6 months, I think like in August of my collection. And from there, we have like a lot of more big announcements to get into like the metaverse. And I already sound like a crazy nerd now, but when you're like, say you're playing like VR, or you're playing a game that allows you to change, clothing. I want to be able to, and there's ways where you can log on VR, build a character, and I want Only Wolves clothing line to be in there. So if you're a character and you're like, hey man, I want to wear this Only Wolves clothes. You could purchase it online and wear it for your character. So, and that's what I wanted to get into digital space. And that's where we're going to towards the end of this year. But yeah, man, like a lot of artists, shout out to the artists that I worked with here, Justin, which is the owner of Just One Tattoo. Justin, dude, that's just like a brother to me. He's been making art. Like the dude is so talented. Like, yes, he's a tattoo artist, but he's not like, man, like he makes digital work like so fast, so easy. The dude is awesome.
Yeah.
And then again, Justin that owns Foil Creations. Amazing. He has his own clothing line too, God King. Justin is crazy amazing with his artwork. I work with artists from like Brazil, the UK. I work with artists from Nigeria. Like, dude, I work with artists from literally all over the world, dude. I can't even think of like all their names now, so I'm sorry, but dude, and they're like all my like I have a Discord, like all their names are shout out, all my Instagram they're shout out. You can see them, man, and like on our Facebook, like, dude, they're these are amazing local artists that should have the knowledge and power to create literally thousands and millions of dollars for their artwork. But it's a space that's so unknown and uncomfortable and it's not very secure. Like, so you kind of freak out. So like I was the one to introduce them to that space. Wow. And it's been a wild ride, bro. Like, and we barely touch the surface, dude. It's gonna be a long ride for this, but it's really cool. I love it. I just love artwork, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So when's your next tattoo session?
Dude, I don't know. Speaking of that, I need to hit up Justin. Speaking of that, I was supposed to go get my NFT. Like, I have if you go on my Facebook, it's like a wolf with like lightning bolts and stuff like that. That's my NFT. That's like a personalized, customized NFT. Nice. That thing is gonna be like worth like $10,000 or whatever. But Justin, I actually booked an appointment for him to get it tattooed, and I freaking forgot. I was like, oh my god. But sorry, Justin. But I'm definitely gonna be out there. Jason, I'm definitely gonna be out there getting my NFT tatted on me because I'm crazy. But I definitely want tattoos. I hate the feeling of it. I'm a punk ass. Whenever I have all these tattoos on me, and I hate the feeling. I can't. Jason's always like, he starts doing tattoos on me, and he's like, bro, I'm always crying the whole time, just like yelling. I'm mad at him. I'm scared. Like,
That's funny, bro.
yeah, the whole time I'm like insulting him. I'm like, I hate you. Why would you do this to me? I'll be here next week. He's like, all right. So
It's kind of like the workout sessions, like, oh, I hate you right now,
yeah,
but
yeah, it's exactly like that. He just be laughing at me. I'd be like, I think like one time I wore jeans like to get a tattoo, and like my legs were sweating through my jeans. He was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to do this no more." But yeah, yeah, man.
bro. Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's awesome, dude. This is a cool story here you got. Yeah, yeah, and you're very knowledgeable, bro, and stuff. It seems like it, and it's like it's cool that uh you're knowledgeable about what's going on around you, dude.
Yeah,
Uh, and it's almost like you have to be. And when you get opinions from other people, that's important too. Not
yeah,
everybody's opinion it will be valued, you
yeah,
know, but the
yeah.
ones where you're actually looking for some advice and you find the good advice, that's very helpful.
Yeah, and we can't be, especially as small business owners, you can't be afraid of someone telling you like, man, him, like I don't like it here, or like what you're doing, I don't like it, or I don't. It may not be the best thing, but back to not being afraid to be seen at the bottom, or I'm not afraid for you to see me stumble. I may stumble a little bit, but I won't fail and
Mm,
come too far to fail. And I don't care what people say or people do. It's you owe it to yourself
mm,
to challenge yourself to be better, to elevate, force yourself to progress. And I have this thing, and my wife freaks this like when she met me. I'm like, man, I love pressure. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I love pressure. I love feeling like my back's against the wall. That'll make me move more faster, more smarter than I've ever done. And back to being like having that fear. When I say like fear is good,
mm.
fear will make you move fastest you ever ran. Like I mean, you think you see like a lion running at you, you're gonna run the fastest you've ever ran in your life. You're scared. So like it's gonna make you move, man. You're gonna do anything you can. You're gonna flip a car, you're gonna run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Mm.
Like I love that feeling. Like, man, this might not work. I'm like, okay, bet, let's go on. Like, okay, like if you feel that way, I don't feel the same. I feel like it's a challenge, and I wanna excel. And that's how I always feel about fear or pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, man.
Mm.
I want to be a diamond. Like I just want to, and then I want to be able to give everyone these diamonds, these jewels. Like I love it. I love being prolific. I love being.
So why are you like that? Like, I mean, do you have an answer to that? Like, to why you're like that?
I feel like I have a big family. I have three brothers, three sisters, and I feel like we have to share everything.
Mm.
Also, growing up, I didn't grow up, you know, the most fortunate life. I didn't have a lot of options. I've made something that I'm proud of. People may not see it as big as I do, but what I am and what I've created, I didn't come from a lot of options or a lot of choices. I had to make these choices and make these options. And I wish that along the way, I had someone that was just willing to help and willing to give. And although I have a big supportive system, I have a
Mm.
supportive family and people around me and friends. But what I was getting into and the direction, the route that I took, a lot of people helped me or give me the knowledge that I was looking for. A lot of people saw me going off doing my own thing and they didn't want to see me be successful. They wanted to see me fail. I had people literally tell me to my face, like, in 3 months, you're going to fail. And I'm like, man, that's like 7 years ago. So it's crazy to hear, it's crazy to see someone being successful and you see other people just like literally hating. So
Mm.
now that I'm in an opportunity, and again, I'm not the most successful person, but I am an opportunity where I can share my experiences and my knowledge that, dude, you can ask all my trainers, man. I sit there and drop jewels all day, every day of my hand, my sweat, like whatever they need to help them be better or just people around me. I love putting people in positions where they can elevate because that's all I wanted was a chance. So like my old bosses gave me chances.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So now I'm like in a position where I can give people a chance, man. I never say no. I always say, let's see, like, let's talk, let's work. And maybe something can organically blossom from that. but you got to plant the seed first, bro. Like, and I've always just wanted that chance, and from that chance blossomed this, man. I love what I do. I love the people around me. I love meeting new people. I love being even the slightest help in someone's life that maybe along their life, their journey, they said like, oh, I met this guy Eric one time, and he helped me out a little bit. I'm like, cool, that's what I'm here for. So
Yeah, man.
I think it just comes from not having a lot to actually having something. And I think it's not about what you can get. Like, everyone thinks life's about what you could get and what you could take. I don't think so. It's about what you could give. And I'll give 1,000% of me until the casket drops, in order to leave something I've built behind, so that my kids can see that and be like, no, like, Eric left something, he built something here. I can't do all this for nothing, man. Like, it can't be for nothing, it's got to be, I got to be leaving the seeds as I go, so it's not about what you can get, man. It's what you could give. So I'm gonna give all of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that comes out. Yeah, that comes down to purpose, legacy, thinking beyond what's just happening in the now, man.
Yeah.
That's
I appreciate it, man. This is Nala.
Hey, Nala.
Nala's just jumped in my lap.
That's a beautiful dog.
Thank you.
Cool, man. So yeah, we'll be wrapping it up. Is there anything else you want to share, Eric?
I just want to say thank you, man. I've always had, some really cool ideas. I'm glad I met you. Man, we definitely got to collab more and do some more stuff. I'll definitely talk to you soon about some cool ideas, and let's try to get it going, man. Thank you, dude, for giving me a chance to talk. I hope that what I said was cool. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I love to share. And, whoever you share this with, I hope that they get some couple of gems from there, and, kind of gives them a little bit more courage to push forward. Small business here in Corpus Christi need to help each other out, so we can grow, man. It's hard. It's hard for everyone. So I just want everyone around me to succeed. It brings me happiness and joy, and it gives me inspiration. So when I see someone else successful, it inspires me very, very well. Awesome, so I appreciate the opportunity, man. You inspired me too. So
yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. That was one of the that's one of the incentives, I guess you could say, to start the podcast. People from Corpus Christi, they look like us, they talk like us, that are doing stuff globally, locally, whatever, just to give people hope, encouragement. Like, look, dude, we can do stuff. We can leave a legacy. We can live with purpose.
Yes.
So yeah.
How small, no matter how small, you could help.
Yes, sir. Yep. Well, all right, Eric. We'll say goodbye, man. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you very much, man. Have a good day, everyone else. If you watch this.
Oh yeah, where do we find you?
If you go on Facebook, it's Eric Franco. If you go on my Instagram, it's I am the Fury. It's I am the _Fury 91. I only mess with Facebook and Instagram. And then if you look at my businesses, you can look Only Wolves, Only Wolves Call on IG, Only Wolves NFT Club on IG, Only Wolves Call on Facebook, Only Wolves NFT Club on Facebook. It's Facebook and Instagram. The Arena Strength or Texas Arena Strength and Fitness, Facebook, Texas Arena Strength and Fitness on Instagram. It's all there, man. It's all connected. Show some support. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, all right, y'all. I'll leave some links in the description as well. So check out Eric.
Appreciate you, dude.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Peace.
Bye. All right, y'all. That was Eric Franco. I'll leave links in the description where you can find his businesses, where you can find him on Facebook or Instagram. And hit him up. And we appreciate you guys listening. Also, if you want to support this podcast, check out the merch at corpuschristioriginals.com.